Hey everybody, and welcome back to Chat with AP. I'm your host, Amanda Pearch, and fellow curious mind. This is where we kick back, have fun, and dive into all kinds of conversations, whether it's business, life hacks, marketing, podcasting, or just a bit of random banter. Get comfy and let's see where today's chat takes us.
So in North Alabama, we had a case where a very large deer was shot on the edge of some commercial property. It was a buffer zone to a chemical plant. In other words, this was the wildlife zone so that nothing made the place go boom. And they shot into it. And multiple game wardens, another game warden found where this animal had been tried to process, but they had carried around it in their truck for about 2 days, 3 days in a hot time of the year, and it had gone bad, so they couldn't do anything with it except for throw it away. So I found the spot where it was taken on the property, and the game warden found where it was dumped, and we identified who dumped it because it was the only one that checked it in that they couldn't process. And we had genetics testing done using DNA through UC Berkeley. I am Jay Lowery, and this is Chat with AP. As far as I know, it was the first prosecution of wildlife in Alabama with DNA evidence, and I don't know if they've done any more. But that company had said that they would cover the price of the testing if there was no conviction, because the state doesn't have a budget to do things like that. But that's what made that possible. There was kind of like a community effort there. But I just thought it was really cool. It was you see
forensic deer files,
CSI, NCAS, all those different things. Yeah, and when we got to pull it all together, it actually does work. Deer have genes as well, and they can be identified too.
So for those of you listening, pay attention to the warden's rules of where you can safely fire your weapon, and also do know that they can do forensic testing. They will find you. Days.
Okay, yeah,
well, first of all, I have to know if there's a connection. My mind just lives in the world of connectivity. So your wife is a veterinarian and you're in the game warden world.
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys overlap with animals? How bring it together for me?
So the very first thing that brought us together was animals. We were both going to Auburn University, War Eagle, even though my basketball team just lost. But anyways, we'll get off of that for now. My wife, Tracy, was doing a rabbit population study on some wild property, some woodlands up north of Auburn. And I was going with a friend to take pictures because I do a little bit of photography. And I was taking pictures for them. And Tracy accidentally caught a very, very, very unhappy raccoon in her live rabbit trap. So I saved her from the raccoon. 6 months later, we started dating, and then we got married a little after that. So
wait, no, I have to know.
Is that crazy?
Okay, so she called for your help, for your professional expertise?
No, we just happened to be there. We just ran into her. Literally, she was running up the road while we were walking in, and so we went and helped out. And she got into vet school after that, and then we've been married since '97.
How did you make it personal after? Are you saying rabid like rabies or rabbit like bunny?
Rabbit.
Foo-foo?
Well, she was looking for rabbits. R-A-B-B.
When you said study, I thought you said she was doing a rabid study, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, these animals all have rabies."
No. This one didn't have. It was just very angry raccoon, kind of like the one in Elf.
So you got the raccoon out of the trap for her.
Yep.
And then how did you? And this is personal, but how did you then maybe get together personally? Did you call her?
She actually was dating somebody at that time, and they broke up. And when they broke up, we ended up going to eat with a group of people, and then we talked on the phone until about 4 o'clock that night after that, and it just kind of went from there.
Oh, it was a rabbit.
So and that's right, rabbit. And it was a very angry raccoon. So the raccoon brought us together, even though he was not a very happy guy. He was not a volunteer candidate for this.
Bless his heart. You did so long as a game warden, though. So, that's got to be interesting there with all the animals that you could have encountered.
One of the other things that we did was while we were in North Alabama, we were at Athens, I believe, at the time. And we had someone had illegally been keeping a mountain lion, and it had escaped. Tracy actually helped us with the tranquilizing and recapture of that. We won't go into great details.
You didn't give it back to the people, did you?
It went to a zoo after that.
God.
So
that is cool. You guys can have your own podcast about wrangling animals.
Yeah, it could get crazy out there.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So you said a mountain lion. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. About 90 pound. His name was Drake, I believe, or Drac or
awesome.
Drake. He's a big boy. When we picked him up. That we used a sedative in a meatball that Tracy put together for us so that he would go to sleep. He could eat that earlier. Then we used the tranquilizing dart because just so if you've ever had people who do this, they know that you have to kind of do a pre-med to make it more successful so they don't run off a long ways away and then hurt themselves or pass out in a place where it wouldn't be able to be found. So, but happy ending.
Do you enjoy Tracy's meatballs?
I'm very careful.
I was going to say, stay away from Tracy's meatballs. They have a secret ingredient.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're looking. So Tracy has retired from veterinary medicine, and now she's teaching science in 7th grade in Hall County now. So
she's dealing with another kind of animal
totally,
now.
She doesn't get bit as often.
7th grade animal. Oh, that's such a wonderful story. I can see how you guys found each other in a unique setting. So she too now is serving and she's working with children and you are serving in this capacity. Do tell me how Jacob's doing.
Jackson, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jacob's Ladder. Jackson now this is kind of cool. So he went to Jacob's Ladder. That's what brought him here. Now he's taking classes with UNG and he is a teacher assistant helping the kids like him at Jacob's Ladder. So he drives down there 3 times a week now and does that. So he loves it. He really does love that. And we actually, I mentioned True Blue does a lot of these things. We actually work with a lot of their maintenance now. We do some of the things that their staff can't handle. They've got a really tall building. They have soffits that's 30 feet up. They can't. Their staff can't take care of the soffit repair. So we fix that kind of thing for them and other projects that come along too. So
very nice. Well, I see that star in your eye when you talk about him. So I know that your family means a lot to you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Jackson has his thing. My daughter is Lily. She's 18 now, Lambert High School, 2-time competition cheer, state champion, 7A here before we went back to 6A. So I'm very proud of my whole family. Absolutely. Because, if you've ever seen competition cheer, it's really simple and it's not a sport at all, right?
Oh my gosh, they're athletes.
I know, it's just insane. We get one of the cool things about that is when we stood right before state competition, we get to go into the auxiliary gym and watch them right offside the mat. I mean, you're like 2 feet from the mat, and you see the girls come spinning and doing these fulls and these tucks, and they land right in front of you, and you think, this girl could take out the quarterback. She could knock out the linebacker. She could, with that momentum and that speed and that power
and the flexibility.
Crazy. But they're tough kids. People don't know how much they go through in a year to perform a 3-minute routine. And it's not like in football or baseball, you get behind in the first inning or the first quarter, you can catch up in the fourth. You can't make mistakes. There's zero tolerance in that sport, and it's not for the weak-hearted. I'll put it that way. So
I myself never cheered. I played soccer in high school, but I did watch the Netflix series, which really opened my eyes. I'm not lying, because they did behind the ears. Those girls, how they were so brutal to their body for the sport, and exactly like you said, how people didn't really take it seriously but it is very grueling.
Well, Lily, we go to a sports medicine chiropractor some, and he says basically the girls in cheer, they're coming in high school and they have injuries you'd expect from a 40-year-old person because of the wear. They've done 4 times the amount of damage in their short life.
Their joints. Oh goodness! Yeah. Start taking glucosamine now, Lily.
Yeah, I think she's probably going to retire. She had some injuries, so she's going to retire after high school here and just move on to college and do her thing there. So.
Thank you for joining us, and you guys can visit that website at www.true, and that's TRU, blue like the color, housecare.com/coming-Dawsonville. We are on the north side of Atlanta, and if you'd like to network with Jay and I, you can find us out there in the community. If you're serious about elevating your brand, maximizing your impact, and leveraging podcasting as a power tool for authority and revenue, let's go. Visit amandapearch.com to book a strategy session today. Let's uncover how we can build something unstoppable together.